What if I told you there's a playbook that if you just follow this playbook, you are guaranteed to have success, specifically and especially if you're a mortgage originator? Well, guess what? There is, and we're going to talk about it on today's episode. Check this out. They don't teach this shit in school, but they should. Welcome to the Loan Officer Podcast, hosted by me, Dustin Owen, one of the most influential people in the mortgage industry, along with my friends who've lived it, built it, failed at it, fixed it, and scaled it. This is not a show just for mortgage professionals. This is everything I learned because I became a mortgage loan originator. This is the Loan Officer Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and with me from the TLOP team, I got my right-hand man, Marketing Mike, and our producer extraordinaire. You call her Special K, we call her Karina Mojica. What up, y'all?
Hey. Nothing much. It's happening.
Back in the saddle again, rocking my lower T.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, I like rocking my lower T. And for those watching on YouTube, I got the old school.
Vintage.
Yeah. TLOP flat bill white baseball hat. They don't make these anymore.
The only thing I like about that logo is that it's vintage.
They don't make these anymore.
That's right.
Well, look, there's something to be said. Like you start going to all these conferences that we go to, and I rock my black T-shirt with the big orange TLOP on it.
Yeah.
And people are like, there he is. There's a TLOP guy.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the hell is TLOP? I'm like, bro, it's a brand.
Yep.
It's a brand, right? It's a brand that's out to reshape the future of the mortgage industry.
Yes, sir.
It's a brand brought to you courtesy of the Loan Officer Podcast.
Right.
Yeah, this hat that I'm rocking right here.
That's
so
cool.
Shout out to our dude, JC, John Coleman.
Yeah.
John Coleman's the guy that got me this hat.
That's right. Wow.
Yeah, this is his logo. This is his hat.
Throwback.
You know, John's going to come hang out with us, he said, in the Bahamas.
I can't wait.
In the Bahamas.
Partying with John is like nothing else.
You know what? Some of these people have never done it before.
It's
Some
wild.
of these people have never done it. Now, I was on Greg Share's one-on-one show. It's like a podcast that he produces on LinkedIn.
Okay.
That dude dug up some pictures.
Yeah.
And it was a picture. I love the picture. Like, shout out to Lucy the lender, John Coleman. God, who else was in that picture? My mind's drawing a blank right now. But it was the first time John and I went out to a mortgage conference as TLOP. Well, actually, back then, we were just the Loan Officer Podcast.
Yeah.
And we had like 20 show fans show up.
Nice.
Those men and women.
Cool.
Oh, Courtney. Shout out to Courtney. Courtney got married and had a baby last year. She's up in the Pacific Northwest. Last time I checked in on her, I think she was with Movement Mortgage. She may have changed by now, but nonetheless, she was in that picture. And those people know what it's like to party at John Coleman. These people have no idea, but I think at this standpoint, we're probably down to about 9 cabins.
Yeah.
So we got about 9 cabins left for our big event happening in September, the TLOP Unite Caribbean Takeover. That's when we take 150 mortgage professionals to the Bahamas. It's 4 days of networking. It's 4 days of masterminding. It's 1 day of having an actual sales summit at sea.
Yep.
And then we're going to have all the fun things, the private beach bash, the Bon Voyage party, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, John Coleman's going to be on that ship. If you're brave enough, not everyone's brave enough.
If you're partying with John, there's most likely Don Julio involved.
Yes, there's a lot involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot involved. But yeah, John's going to be on. Not only is he going to be on there, but we're like we're throwing it back to the old school because we're so cool.
Live podcast.
Do and JC reunited again.
It's awesome.
But those 150 mortgage professionals are going to make up a live audience. And quite honestly, we're going to turn it into a mastermind session where it's going to be a lot of Q&A with questions from the audience. Karina, I expect you there with like a microphone
I'm literally
and a
imagining
camera.
myself right
Dude,
now.
I'm thinking post-production, have fun. That's going to be hard to post-produce.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And there's a good chance because it's going to be right after lunch.
Yep.
I'm guessing JC is going to have at least 1, if not 3 Sands lights.
Yes.
Right.
Light.
That is the Bohemian beer choice, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So good times. Come hang out with us. Come party with JC. Let's get into today's show.
Yeah.
Where like there's a playbook that you're working on.
I am.
There's a playbook that we're going to tease it. We're going to announce it.
Yeah, it's fine.
On this show.
Let's go.
I mean, this is going to be an actual digital asset. Is that what you call it? A digital asset?
It's a SaaS product.
A SaaS product.
Yep.
Yeah, sassy.
Yeah.
It's a sassy product.
Except it's SaaS.
Okay, SaaS.
Actually, it stands for software as a service, in case anyone.
Okay, SaaS. Okay, we're going to have one of those products that is your playbook.
Yeah.
It's your playbook. It draws on our blueprint.
Yep.
And honestly, it encompasses so much of what we teach, preach, and hold accountable at TLOP's Originator Coaching. And
then some. It's kind of a Swiss Army knife.
Okay.
It really is.
I like that. A little Swiss Army knife action. I hope it's a real Swiss Army knife and not the kind that my parents would give me that they basically probably got at the claw machine. And it was, the blades were so dull. And
no,
like,
this is a real one.
Like you couldn't open up the screwdriver at all.
This is a name brand Swiss Army knife.
It's like actual Swiss Army knife. All right, cool. Hey, let's take a quick pause so we can hear from today's show sponsor, and then we're going to kick it back and we're going to dive quickly and deeply into this playbook that we're talking about. Check this out. Y'all, something big is happening at Lower Mortgage. And if you're paying attention to this industry, you've probably noticed. In just the last month alone, Lower has added some serious horsepower. We're talking top producers representing over $350 million in volume. These aren't rookies kicking tires. These are heavy hitters who've done their homework and made the move. That should tell you something. On top of that, Lower just acquired Movoto, a top 5 real estate portal with over 150 visitors just last year. Before that, they brought in Neat Labs, and now they're launching Lower OS, a next-gen mortgage platform that's cutting loan delivery times down to 10 days. This isn't a company standing still. Lower doubled their volume last year, and they're projecting another 40 to 50% growth this year. The best in the business are taking notice, and they're voting with their feet. Here's the reality. The companies that are going to win in this market are the ones investing in technology, building real infrastructure, and competing at scale. Lower is doing all of that. They're going head to head with the Rockets of the world, and they're built for originators, not against them. If you're a producer who wants to be a part of something that's actually going somewhere, not just surviving, but growing, this is the moment. Lower Mortgage, the momentum is real. All right, so we're back. So Mike has this SaaS product that he's been working on behind the scenes. He just like dumped 8 to 12 hours into it a couple of days ago. He walks into the meeting this morning all excited. Yep. Hijacks the freaking meeting. We want to talk about financials. We want to talk about the cruise. We want to talk about new coaching members. Mike's like, nope. I got to show you this.
And look at the screen.
Yes. And what'd you call it?
All right. Take it back a step, because we were working on this about 6 months ago, and we just tabled the project because, like, as any other startup, right, we have to narrow our focus, and Traction is teaching us that, and we're narrowing our focus and understanding what our product is and where we make our money.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the Blueprint app that I was building, or the SaaS product, it just wasn't a priority, so we tabled it.
Yep.
So little by little, I've been revisiting it, tweaking it. And yes, I dove in kind of head first. It was about 12 hours on it. And I just kind of got it to the finish line, to an MVP, to a minimal viable product.
There we go. MVP, not most valuable player.
Yeah, no. Minimal viable product.
Yep.
And it's ready to beta test. So that's where, by the time this airs, I think we're going to be like 2 weeks into our beta testing, which is cool.
Yeah, and we're just for you, so y'all know, like, we're reaching out to our guy PJ Crescenzo.
Yep.
PJ and his team have taken our blueprint and have incorporated that into their sales culture
and they're all crushing.
Yeah, for the past year.
Yep.
And then more than likely Coach Brian Kimball, because Coach Brian Kimball was a big part of building the blueprint.
Yeah.
But Brian uses the blueprint himself. His loan officers use the blueprint, and every elite coaching student that Brian coaches, he puts them on the blueprint. So we figured, between those two sales leaders, who are both producers themselves, and their LOs, you'll be able to, let people see you naked, right? I think those are the words you use.
Literally what I said.
Yep. It's not literally, but, nobody wants to see any of us naked, literally.
They're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, and then they're going to give us feedback.
Yeah, we need to know the bugs. They need to report the issues.
Okay.
And like, with the introduction of vibe coding, and like I do have development background, so it's
Yes.
a little bit easier for me to jump in and prompt and code through prompting than your average Joe. But
Like, you know what a pen test is.
yeah. Well, and secondly though, like,
By the way, I
There-
was like yesterday years old. By the way, it's a penetration test, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well,
If you don't know what a pen test is and you're vibe coding, just know that it's a cool hobby, bro. It's a cool hobby until you start getting pen tested.
you're like, so when speaking of the pen test,
Yeah, how'd I
Are
do?
you-
How'd I do?
Are you-
Mike's like, this dude can't even turn on his computer, and he wants to come in and talk about pen testing. Okay.
well, that aside, the product as a whole, when you jump in, so we're still working on the subscription model and how we're going to roll it out. So not quite there yet, but I can tease that it's going to be free for members.
Yeah, okay.
So I will tease that it's going to be free.
So if you're a
for-
member of our coaching community, this is going to be free, given to
Exactly.
you as a part
This
of
will
your
be-
membership benefits.
Yep, whether that's
Sweet.
for a limited time or not, TBD, but
Yep.
you will get it for free.
Certain levels of membership, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, exactly. But
Learn as you grow,
yep.
right? Build as
Learn-
you grow.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing. We're building as we grow.
Yep.
And we're also learning as we grow.
And I think anybody listening to this episode needs to understand that the point of what I was saying with vibe coding is these products are a lot easier to make now. You can think of anything and make it, and it's incredible that we can do that. We have a colleague of ours, like Steven. I mean, he spent over $1 million developing an app for his roofing company. I could make that same app for a couple grand within 48 hours.
Wow. And he spent $1 million on an app that actually went nowhere and didn't move the needle and cost him $1 million.
It's crazy, but you needed to then. You had to. It was a requirement. I mean, we did not have AI prompting
Yes.
code. You don't have Claude code. You don't have cowork.
Yeah, but I think my point, and we're getting off topic. I
Yeah.
want to jump into the playbook,
Yeah,
but
I'm going
I
to.
do because so many people are out there vibe
This is a
coding.
good preface.
Like, I want people to understand this. Like, I coached and taught this from the main stage going back 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I still stand by it today. When it comes to technology, be a fast follower.
Oh, absolutely.
Be an early adopter and a
Fast
fast follower. Man, most of us are barely scratching the dent at how great we can be as mortgage originators.
Yeah.
Stop trying to be a great programmer, encoder, and inventor of technology.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's fun, but don't think you're going to get it outside of using it for your own ecosystem. It just so happens we have a big ecosystem.
Yep.
Right? We get millions of downloads. We get to coach and teach thousands of originators on an annual basis. Our ecosystem is big enough that we can build something and have it be wholeheartedly supported by our own ecosystem.
Yeah.
Many of the people we coach are trying to make these apps and these websites and these tools and this technology, which I'm like, that's all well and good, but I hope you know you're making it for your own internal use.
Absolutely.
And by the way, if you start trying to get all your, I'm gonna butcher this, is it SAROC or the securities clearance from financial?
I know where you're going, yeah.
Like, again,
So,
that's a whole different topic. I'm gonna get
Absolutely.
to that rabbit hole. Let's talk about the playbook.
Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about
about
the
what
meat.
is in the playbook.
The meat, okay.
Because the LOs right now are tuning in. The mortgage professionals who like the show are like, bro, give me the freaking playbook. I don't want you talking about your app and how cool it's going to be.
No, absolutely.
So what's inside of this SaaS product that you're making for us?
I'm going to let you dive into the details, into the nitty-gritty
Okay.
of the tracker itself, okay? But it starts with a dashboard, right? It's just kind of a 30,000-foot overview of your progress, what you're doing inside of this SaaS product, this application.
Well, what should they be doing inside of that? Like what should a loan originator be doing?
Anything from referrals, kind of referral tracking that are incoming, to credit pulls, to outreach, to getting the leads, harvesting those referral sources, and you're tracking your daily output of these. And that's what the blueprint model is.
Correct. Like, this is a way for you to track the 10 things that are most important to your future success.
Right.
To scorecard it.
Yep.
If you're a branch manager, it's going to be a way for you to scorecard your entire team. We can gamify it to where anyone who is following the playbook can see not just how they're doing, but how are they doing against every other mortgage originator in the country who's also using this. What are the things that the dashboard shows? The very first thing it's going to show you is your theme days.
Yep.
Theme days because they keep us organized. Theme days because it's our way to make sure we are diversified in our outbound sales, and marketing.
Yep.
That's what theme days do. There's nothing new about theme days to TLOP. And by the way, there's nothing new about theme days to the mortgage industry. So I learned theme days from a coach and mentor over a decade ago. We coach and teach it because it works. Others coach and teach it. You want to know why they do that? Because it works.
Yeah.
Okay. But theme days works for someone training for an Ironman. Theme days work for the garbage collectors. Theme days work for elementary school teachers. We all follow theme days. So the very first thing you're going to see are your theme days. The second thing that I think is most important for any one of us in sales: how many meaningful conversations did you have today?
Yep.
10. That's the goal. The goal is 10 a day, 50 a week.
Yep.
Okay. Anything that you do, you should be doing at 80% or better. So if you don't do 50, but you did 40, don't beat yourself up. If you only did 20, you can do better. What is a meaningful conversation? Simply put, is the person you're talking to somebody who needs and wants to do a home loan? If the answer is yes, it's a meaningful conversation. Is the person you're talking to somebody that can refer you consistent business? If the answer is yes, it's a meaningful conversation. Is the person you're talking to somebody that can refer you to somebody who can refer you consistent business? I.e., you're talking to your great aunt Langley, and she introduces you to her next door neighbor who's a realtor, then you can put great aunt Langley down as your meaningful conversation for the day because you asked her, who do you know? And she answered it with, oh, my next door neighbor. Let me make a connection.
Yep.
TLOP Unite is not your typical mortgage event. This is the first ever TLOP cruise experience built exclusively for originators. And for 4 days, it's not about the speakers, it's about you. We're talking breakout strategy sessions, real conversations, curated events, and uninterrupted access to a community that helps you grow. If you're serious about taking your career to the next level, this is where you need to be. Space is limited and the price is right. So click the link now and learn more.
So when you first log into your dashboard, those right there are the first two things you're going to see.
Those are the metrics.
If you're looking for the playbook for success, follow theme days and prioritize your outbound sales activity to allow yourself the highest likelihood or probability of completing 10 meaningful conversations.
Right. And that's where I say this. Now we get into kind of the Swiss Army knife piece of it. And that's not only is it the blueprint, you need to do X, Y, and Z, but we also give you the tools to do it. Right. So I have a tab in there, Hunt. And that's where you're actually going out and you're able to source realtors within a given radius.
Yes.
Right. So that's going to give you a list of realtors. You add them onto your list, my list in there.
It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome if you could like API that with like Redder or Model Match or MMI1.
And you beat me to the punch.
If you could API that, now, that may be a V2 thing.
Yeah, that's going to be a V2
okay.
thing. Absolutely. You can add the realtors a la carte if you need to, if you're not sourcing them, or we will have a direct integration with Redder. The only problem is what we're actively looking into right now. The reason why I didn't make the MVP is I don't know the call limits that Redder has when we're connecting into the API. I don't know the data usage, like the limits that they have on that as well. So we have a few questions to ask their team before we actually hook into it and make it part of the service. But I will run through a wall to make it happen.
So back on the playbook, here are things that aren't a part of the TLOP blueprint, because many of you have been on my blueprint call. I do it once a month. It is my easiest and biggest and most impactful way to serve this industry and charge people nothing for it. Right. And that's taking advantage of, it's learning our 10x2 method, right? It's how to follow these 10 steps to, at a minimum, 2x your business.
Yep.
But, what's going to be a part of the playbook, and we're talking about the playbook right now. So if you're trying to design your own playbook, because maybe they don't want to join our coaching, maybe they don't want to pay for the SaaS product that you're going to create, but I'll at least, we've been giving away our best stuff for 6 years. Why are we going to stop now?
Yeah.
So something you should know that we coach inside of TLOP's Originator coaching is I teach people the importance of having a referral account pyramid.
Yeah.
Right? Every potential or current referral source needs to be labeled and leveled based on a pyramid type system.
Absolutely.
Right? You may have a handful that refer you 20 times a year. You fund 5 to 6 transactions a year. They go on a certain level. You may have some people that only refer you a dozen times a year. You only close 1 or 2 transactions. They need to be on a certain level. You may have people that you know and they know you, but you all haven't closed any business together. That's a different level. And because in business and life, if you're not growing, you're dying, we always need to have perspective. What I call clients, to me, a referral source as a client, but we should have people that we're targeting and they need to be on this particular account pyramid.
Yep.
We are going to include that account pyramid inside of our playbook
Yep.
because it's something that is not currently done with the TLOP blueprint, but this isn't the blueprint. This is a play on the blueprints, kind of the blueprint on steroids, and then some.
And you will have a built-in CRM, and that's how that pyramid functionality is going to be baked into it.
And that's what I was thinking, like being able to research agents and add them to your call list. Well, if you're following theme days, you should have your set of agents that you already know and they already know you. Those are the ones that you're reaching out to on Monday.
Yep.
That's part of following theme days. But you always need to have your target list. Your target list would be something you're pulling from, again, Redder, or, you know, it could be Model Match, it could be MMI1, it could be all 3.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is still early stages, but these are all best practices. No different than, here's a best practice. You come and join our launch bootcamp. Again, you could join as an individual. Every 6 weeks, we're launching a new cohort of 8 to 10 originators. It's a 16-week boot camp, or your entire organization can come to us and say, hey, I have 20, I have 30, I have 40 originators that I want to put through all at the same time, and I can show you the 6-month or the 26-week version of this. Well, I want Mike including in the playbook something each and every one of you should have.
Yep.
Part of your playbook should be this. You should have a top 100 VIP list. This is friends, family, ex-coworkers, neighbors, right? People that are important to you, people that you should be treating them as if they're already a client, and you should be leveraging your relationship so they introduce you to more referral sources. You should always have some kind of a top 200 realtor list. When you're newer in your career, it's a realtor target list. When you're more established and more seasoned, it may just be your top 200 list, of which only 20 are targets. That's when you really take that list and you pour it into the referral account pyramid.
Yeah.
Now, other things that you should be doing that are going to be a part of your playbook, and we're going to give you access to our SaaS product called the TLOP Playbook, things like this. You should be writing and sending a weekly newsletter that goes out to every realtor in your database. We need to make that something that you track, something that you do, something you get scored on, and potentially give you some framework to make it easier for you to do.
Absolutely.
Part of your playbook should be sending a quarterly video market update. So it's a video. Think code video, think BombBomb. You're going to record it 3 minutes or less, and you're going to send it 4 times a year to your entire database. Our playbook needs to include this. You need to get scorecarded on it. You need to see how you scorecard compared to everyone else. And if we're any good at what we do, maybe we offer you the framework to help you put together the best prompt to get your most beneficial economic update. By the way, people have always asked, Dustin, Dio, what's a quarterly market update? Okay, simply put, you start with 2 or 3 sentences about current events, just so people know it's topical and it's not totally canned. Second thing, you say, this is what happened in the economy over the past 3 months. This is what we expect to happen in the economy over the next 3 months. It's a 4th grade level. It was good, it was bad, or it's indifferent. You say, this is what's going on in the local real estate market. This is what we expect to happen in the local real estate market. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it indifferent? Then you close it out with some kind of a gratitude and a call to action, right? So like that's part of the playbook that you all should be implementing and following, that I'm afraid right now you're not, because I pulled your Redder data and it shows me that you're not, but you can. Now, everything else that's a part of the TLOP blueprint. Oh, look, 30 minutes a day of online networking. We teach you how to do it. We hold you accountable. If you've never been a part of one of those master classes, don't miss the next time that we do it. I can teach you how to spend 30 minutes a day online, not becoming TikTok famous, right? Not trying to get that reel to get 100,000 views. I'm just saying, how do I make you more topical, help you expand your network, stay top of mind with those that know you. So you increase the likelihood of getting referrals, you increase the likelihood of you converting your leads, and you help open doors to new relationships.
And then you're tracking, though, because I know what you're going to go into next is your daily reading, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
and there is an MVP feature that's going to be rolled out in V1.
Oh, yeah.
And we're calling it Book Club.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yes.
So that's built into the Loan Officer Playbook. You're actually going to, before you enter your reading time, you have to add the book. The book, we're integrating with several kind of online book platforms to be able to pull that data in. You select it. And then there is a list on this Book Club page or tab, and you can see what everyone else in the playbook is reading. So, it gives you good book ideas. Like, I always ask for book referrals.
Yes. So again, if you're looking at your own playbook, top producers read daily.
Yeah.
Right. When you coach with us, we assign reading. When you coach with us, we want you tracking, did you read 15 minutes a day?
Yep.
I'm not asking you to become an avid reader. I'm asking you to dedicate 15 minutes a day to read. Because if you do so, you'll read a book a month, which is 12 books a year, which is 60 books over 5 years. Those are 60 life lessons you can learn. Y'all, there's not enough hours in the day or months in the year or years in a lifetime for us to go experience enough things firsthand to learn those lessons, but reading allows us to do it. No different than exercise. Like, I don't need you training for an Ironman, but if you're looking for the playbook for success, the playbook for success says that you exercise 4 times a week for 50 minutes or more, where your heart rate is elevated for that time period. And I don't do it so you look better in your bikini, or so that you lose your love handles, or your arms jiggle less. And I'm not asking you to go run a marathon. What I'm saying is that science tells me you're a more creative person. You're a more calm person. You're a less anxious person. You're a more energized person. Believe it or not, when you exercise, it doesn't take away energy, but it gives you energy. And you think with clarity. So yeah, these are all part of your playbook. Whether you want to follow our SaaS product that Mike's developing or not, these are things that you should be doing.
And then I think I want to also, we didn't forget about branch managers, right? This is kind of the last feature that I want to list out here. So branch managers can
I kind of teased it, but you can remind them.
So they're going to be able to control their team. And that's the big thing, is they can invite their team onto this platform, and you will have your own dashboard view of your team that you can segment from the other, the Loan Officer Playbook users. So being able to segment your team out and now track their progress, track their performance, make sure that they are following the playbook correctly. I mean, I think it's going to be huge for branch managers.
Yeah, and then when you're looking at your own playbook, and again, this is coming straight off of the TLOP blueprint. That's the Originator's blueprint for success. It's our holy grail of what you have to do daily, weekly, monthly in order to dominate your work week and your work month, and to become your company's next top producer. If you're already a top producer, it's how you 2X and 3X your business.
Absolutely.
There's things that you should be tracking on the daily. You should be tracking your leads. So we have a lead tracking component. You should be tracking your credit pools. So we're going to have a credit pool tracking component. You need to be every single day doing prospect follow-up. I do not believe in prospect follow-up needs to be a themed day. I think prospect follow-up is something you do every day. It gives you an opportunity to have a meaningful conversation with someone who needs and wants a home loan. And once you get them on the phone, you get to call the referring agent or the referring person and give them an update, which allows you to have yet another meaningful conversation.
If you're a licensed originator who's closing loans, but you're not consistent, this is for you. If you're brand new or just looking for motivation, trust me, this is not for you. Most LOs don't need more information. They need structure. They need proven processes and somebody to hold them accountable. TLOP's Originator Coaching gives you weekly live coaching, scripts top producers actually use, and step-by-step business systems you can implement immediately. Not someday, we're talking day one. You're not watching videos alone. You're executing in real time with other originators who take this seriously. Right now, you can try it free for 2 weeks. That's 2 full weeks for free. You'll sit in on live coaching calls. You'll get access to the frameworks and see exactly how top producers run their business. If it creates clarity, if it creates momentum, or even if it puts wins on the board, you keep going. If it doesn't, no worries, you can cancel. No pressure at all. Click the link, start the 2-week trial, and finally, build this like a business, not a side hustle.
I also want to be able to track the events that you attend. And how about this? We still work in an industry where people do business with people. We got to be breaking bread, getting belly to belly and face to face. So inside of your own blueprint, you need to be having at least 3 face-to-face meetings on the weekly basis. You need to be attending at least 2 exterior networking functions on the monthly basis. These are all things that should be a part of your blueprint, or your playbook. It's a lot of our blueprint coupled with everything else that we have experienced, our coaches have experienced, we leveraged to become top producers. We leverage today to stay on top. And it's all things that we can coach you at TLOP's Originator Coaching. And it's all things that Mike is currently using to develop this particular playbook. But if you're looking for your own playbook because you want to go create your own SaaS product, cool. We just gave you the framework, right? This is what's going to be included. I'm sure there's a couple things that we'll add to it as we hear from our beta testers.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there's some more things that we'll add to it after we roll out V1.
Yep.
But you don't have to have this in order to take what you learned today and use it for you to level up. All you need is a little bit of drive, a little bit of determination, and potentially someone to help hold you accountable if you're not that person for yourself. Was there anything else that we missed out on when it comes to the playbook that originators need to follow in order to guarantee success?
No, I mean, the Loan Officer Playbook coming to you soon. We'll probably drop a link when we do the full launch. We'll probably drop it because you don't need to be a TLOP community member or launch or enterprise. You don't need to be a member. You can sign up for it. There's a paid monthly subscription that you could sign up for.
Yeah.
But if you are a member, you will get it for free.
Well, and I'll tell you, it's way easier because, I mean, this is not just what I practiced for 2 decades as an originator, as a producing branch manager, but it's what our coaches, and it's what the top producers that we featured on this show over the past 6 years. Like this isn't a, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. Let's go ahead and add it. It's like, no. This is decades of personal experience. If you added all of the cumulative experience, dude, you're talking about over hundreds of years of experience and success and hundreds of millions of dollars of personal income earned amongst ourselves, the coaches, as well as the men and women who've been featured on the show. This playbook, I promise you this, there ain't a whole lot new about it. Now, our delivery, new.
Yeah.
Okay. Being able to track it and gamify it and the method that Mike's going to lay it out, brand spanking new.
Yep.
But I told someone the other day, I said, look, it's a compliment when you tell me that nothing I say is brand new. I said, because it's 100% true. It's 100% true. And most people don't even do what is asked of them at a 50% level or better. So my goal is not to innovate anything. My goal is this. We all know what to do. You know what to do. But for whatever reason, you're not doing it. What we solve for at TLOP's Originator Coaching is why are you not taking action? Here's what I found. A lot of times you don't know how to do it. It's not being done for you, or you've never understood the why.
Yep.
So as many times as we can, we will figure out the done for you. Although that's harder to do than it is to say. What isn't hard to do is teach you how to do things and to explain to you why it's important. I think that's the difference between us and others. And quite honestly, some of the others, the men and women that I respected and looked up to 20 years ago, you got to think, like, where are they now in life? I mean, those people are true baby boomers who are more than likely a day, if not a week, away from retirement. Their methodology, although in practicum works, their delivery method is where they're missing, right? Not teaching the how and not explaining the why is where they're missing.
Yeah.
So, look, you can get the app, but the app without coaching is kind of like the what without the why. You need to know the why. The app is how to track. It's how to stay competitive. It's how to monitor. It's going to be what's staring you down that's going to predict why you either do or do not make the money you want to make.
Absolutely.
Coaching is going to teach you how to do things and why to do them. And I will tell you, the app by itself, I'm afraid you may waste your money. Why not pay for coaching and get the app for free? But we're getting ahead of ourselves. The app isn't even out yet. This was less about us trying to highlight the app, although it's Mike's baby, so he likes to talk about it. It was more about, this is what we're building. This is why we're building it. This is everything that's included.
Yep.
These are things that you should know and you should be following. And if you're not, use this episode as your springboard, as your catalyst to start making the changes that you need to make so that you can see the changes you want to see in your business.
Yeah.
Whew. And if that doesn't float
Tongue
your
twister.
boat, then freaking come hang out with us in the Bahamas.
Yeah, let's go.
September 14th through 18th. Y'all, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. We had with us, again, our producer extraordinaire, Karina Mojica, my right-hand man, Marketing Mike, and I am the host with the most, the creator of this mad mess, Dustin Owen. You've just tuned in to Loan Officer Podcast. If you dig what we do, make sure you subscribe on YouTube and give us a 5-star review on both Apple and Spotify. If you are interested in coaching or you're interested in coming on the cruise event that we're doing in September, go to our website. Everything is there, tloponline.com, TLOP-online.com. And while you're there, if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. That way we can invite you to a free coaching call on a monthly basis. She's Karina, he's Mike, I'm Dio. That's all the time we have for you today. We do look forward to catching you, though, on the next episode. Peace.